Yesterday, upon the stairs, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. How I wish he'd go away. Prepare your ears for some weird candy.
Hey, happy Tuesday to you. How's it going, everybody? I hope the butthole of the work week isn't kicking you too hard. I am Chris, and with me, as always, is Chuck.
Chuck, I'm going to do this every time. Chuck, yeah, woohoo!
Fucking one-man fan club.
Awesome, yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, you fucking weird bastards. We love every one of you. Thank you guys so much for all the downloads and the reviews and the ratings. Keep that shit coming, man.
Yeah, just bring it on. Send
it helps
over.
So much. Like,
We'd love to hear your opinions. Let us know how stupid we're being.
Yeah, keep the emails coming too to weirdcandypodcast@gmail.com. And, be sure to keep checking out the Facebook page, Weird Candy Podcast at Facebook.
I was practicing. I had it this time. You didn't even give me the chance.
Well, fool me once. I don't know, something. There's kind of old adage there.
Right.
We could have touched on a little bit. Did you have a good Christmas, Chuck?
Oh, absolutely, man. You?
Yeah, not too bad, man. It's actually pretty good.
You get any nice gifts there?
I did. I got myself a new microphone, and don't ask me what. Oh, I'm just kidding. No, it's a Rode microphone, and this thing is awesome.
It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. I wish you had gotten me one.
It's in the mail.
Oh, nice. I'll just have to get my own and bring it to the studio next time.
Sure.
I'll just ship it here. So
exactly. Yeah. And then, if it gets lost in the mail and I end up with an extra, $150, it happens.
Sweet.
Well, you got anything else to add on before we get started, brother?
Yeah, I don't think so, man. Just everybody, I hope you had a great holiday, whatever holiday you choose to celebrate,
hope you had a safe new year, and fuck 2020. Let's move into 2021 with some optimism.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, I hope you guys like the new theme music.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Totally forgot. We had new theme music.
Exactly. It's like we've been working on this stuff so long. It's like, it's not even new to me anymore.
Right. That was great. I'm really looking forward to this year. Things are changing. Things are growing.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yep. I'm feeling super optimistic, man. I'm ready for it. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right, guys, let's get weird. In 1947, President Harry S. Truman signed the National Security Act, which was the lead-up to the creation of the Central Intelligence Agency, better known as the CIA. This particular arm of the government was originally created with the intent that, as one of the main superpowers of the world, the United States needed to do whatever was necessary to stay ahead of the rest of the world, especially those fucking Ruskies, in the advancement of technologies that could possibly...
Is that a quote? Sorry.
Yes, that was Harry Truman's quote.
Oh,
fucking Ruskies. No, wait, that's not right.
Okay, proceed. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if that was a quote or not,
They were trying to stay ahead of the rest of the world and the advancement of technologies that could possibly tip the scale in the fight between capitalism and communism. The idea was that this new secret organization would covertly gather intelligence from all over the globe and report back to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who would in turn report to the president, and so on. Shit would happen. Now, as with almost any top secret group, things didn't exactly go as planned. It wasn't long before the clandestine agency started to say fuck you to anyone that was supposed to hold them accountable, and decided that they knew what was best for everyone. And now by everyone, Chuck, we mean themselves. I mean, let's just fucking face it. Let's just be straight. They started doing everything from trying to topple dictators to starting and funding both sides of wars. And they were just literally
playing both sides.
Exactly. They were off the fucking rails, and like they would fund both sides of these wars until they decided which side was going to come out on top. And then they would cut off the losers and try to mold the winners into exactly what they wanted them to be. Now, it doesn't take a college thesis to realize that this almost never fucking works. Whatever they did to other countries, though, that shit pales in comparison to what they would go on to do to the American people. One of the more disturbing, quote, projects that they would enact was led by a chemist named Sidney Gottlieb. Now, originally, the project was called Project Artichoke.
Artichoke.
Right. But it would ultimately become known as MK Ultra.
Why couldn't they just keep the artichoke then?
I don't know. MK Ultra sounds better.
They were all just standing around eating artichoke dip. And
Like, why does my pea smell funny? Oh, wait,
let's
no, that's
just call the
asparagus.
Project
right?
Artichoke.
It's asparagus that makes your pea smell. I forgot. I mixed them up. Sorry, guys. Excuse me.
Wait until you hear about Project Asparagus.
A bunch of guys peeing like, it smells bad.
CIA goes, I wonder what it takes to make the American people's urine smell bad.
That was like some J. Edgar Hoover shit you got going there, brother.
There you go.
Good job.
Sweet. That was, hey, my first voice.
There you go. See, man, you're working it out. You're figuring this shit out. Just for starters, we'll briefly touch on the Tuskegee experiment. Now, prepare yourselves. This is some fucked up shit. I mean, in my opinion, this is terrible. Dude.
It is. It's awful. The way anybody could do this to a group of people, it's just...
And like clear kind of, oh, well, yeah, so what? Yeah, it's absolutely fine. This so-called experiment was actually started before the formation of the CIA when it was still called the Office of Strategic Services. In 1932, the U.S. Public Health Service, with the help of the OSS, started a study with one goal in mind: to study the long-term effects of syphilis in African American men. Doctors, along with agents disguised as doctors, went to Macon County, Alabama, under the guise that they were there to give the residents free medical care. I mean, who's going to turn that shit down?
It's odd that we started getting medical care, and now everyone in our community has syphilis. We're finally trying to take care of ourselves.
Here's the here's the thing too: is like they weren't testing them for that, or if they were, they weren't giving them the results. They were like, "No, you're good, you're good." I don't know why your shit's.
I think you would know if you had syphilis.
I don't know. Al Capone had syphilis. And look at him. Success story all over, baby. Instead of the free medical care, they only gave them placebos, and then they purposely injected them in with the disease. Now, this went on for 40 fucking years, Chuck.
That's crazy.
I know, it's insanity.
Nuts.
It's fucking insanity. God.
I don't know. It's just it makes your skin crawl to think that a government-sanctioned group is able to do this for so long.
Yep. And like, hey, give us your tax money so we can fuck people over like horribly. Oh, dude, it's
is that
disgusting,
not what
man.
the government uses our tax? Never mind.
Well, now this is really fucked up. But as the agency grew, things would get even more twisted. All in the effort to prove that the good old U.S. of A. was number fucking one. America. That's right, baby. After Truman signed the act that created the CIA, it really didn't take them long to start fucking shit up in any and every way possible. Now, while they were just continuing the absolutely fucked up Tuskegee experiment, they definitely weren't shy about creating their own even more twisted, like studies. In 1953, they learned that Russia had been working on a new drug called Bulbocapnine?
Bulbocapnine?
Yep, shut up. You could have just said that. You could, whatever I sighed, you could have just saved me the embarrassment and the struggle. No, I understand. Supposedly this, what was it called again?
Bulbocapnine?
It's not Bubba Fett.
I didn't say boba tea. What's in your boba tea?
That's right. No, supposedly this drug, it could weaken someone's will so much that it started to be known as a truth serum. The Russians claimed that they could get any information that they wanted from anyone that they gave this to. It didn't matter how hard these people were, they could break them. Now, around the same time, the CIA, or the American government anyway, discovered that North Korea had started to use LSD on prisoners of war in order to pry information from them. Now, the Korean, now, and here we go, like now the Koreans are claiming that they had a so-called truth serum too. And then to top all of this shit off, the United States intelligence community realized that now that they weren't the only ones with nuclear weapons, they would have to find different ways to gain an edge in what they considered modern warfare. Enter the MK Ultra program. I know,
yeah.
dude. Yeah, this shit's weird.
It's a pretty tough subject.
It's weird how anybody could just think that. Yep, this makes perfect sense.
This is fine. This isn't American government. Don't put anything past our government.
Oh, exactly. The only goal that these sick bastards had was finding ways to control the human mind. It seems like initially the agency focused on doing these, these tests in penitentiaries and hospitals, and for some fucking reason, in universities around the country.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could just lump all three together. They're the same, right?
Sure. If you're going to test on somebody, do it on the prisoners, I guess. But I mean, everybody deserves to be treated fairly and humanely.
Exactly.
Even if you're a prisoner, you get your meals, you get your bed, you know.
Exactly.
Some modicum of comfort.
The worst part it is yet to come. It gets worse. It really does. Now at the beginning of these super fun and totally consensual tests. Okay, just kidding. There was nothing consensual at all about any of this shit. The CIA was mainly focusing on using LSD. At one point, these fucking geniuses invited a group of their own scientists to what they thought was a retreat center for some good old stroke and smoke, or whatever the scientist equivalent is to stroke and smoke.
I imagine the scientists are like stroking their beards and smoking these ginormous weird pipes,
like they're really odd shaped ones,
like Santa Claus pipe, like 3 foot long, right. And
absurdly long or absurdly ornate for no fucking reason. It serves no purpose.
Carved chemical compound designs in the pipe.
I was
thinking
like some like mermaid lady like you see on the front of a whaling boat shit, like that'd be fucking great. Now, after an evening of discussing equations and all kinds of other nerd shit, fucking nerds. It's so funny how we can make fun of people that are so much smarter than us. But hey, that's why we have a sense of humor, because we're not smart. So
it's one or the other. I mean, would you rather listen to a podcast with a bunch of smart guys using words you don't know, or two idiots,
rambling about shit that they have no idea about?
Right.
Agreed. I'm glad you guys are here. No. After the evening of discussion, they're discussing these equations and all this other shit. They were all brought an after dinner drink. Now, surprise, motherfuckers! That shit was laced with acid. Yeah.
Wow. Just a bunch of scientists frying balls
that didn't know they were frying balls. Now, oddly enough, things didn't really go well after they were dosed.
Really?
I know. Surprise, right?
Surprising.
Now, only one of the scientists didn't drink the Kool-Aid. He started to notice that everyone was kind of flipping out. One of these lab coat aficionados had a really
aficionados. There you go again.
I told you I've been reading the fucking thesaurus
or that toilet paper. I got you. Oh, I need to
that's
get.
Gone. It's gone.
Oh yeah. Well, I got you a new pack. It just hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, it's still in the. It's your microphone,
right? Yeah.
Over the next couple of days, his family and friends noted that he had started to show signs of paranoid schizophrenia. Within 3 days, Dr. Frank Olson committed suicide.
Damn.
I know. Fucking dirty shit. Actually, I think this might be a good time, Chuck. Let's introduce our very first sponsor.
Guys, we got a sponsor, guys. You will not believe this. This is a great sponsor. You'll love this.
Oh, product. Man. Yeah, fuck it. Let's play the ad that they gave us.
Let's do it.
Fly, honey, at the bar. Wanna take it to your car.
Barfly Club.
Don't masturbate. Get yourself a date.
Barfly Club.
Tonight you're making porn. You'll regret it in the morn.
Barfly Club.
Underneath the neon, you're the one I wanna be on.
Now that's too far.
This product is not recommended for use by anyone and has been proven by the state of California to cause erectile dysfunction, genital warts, and an overall lack of confidence. Barfly Cologne is only promoted by two jackasses with a podcast.
Barfly Club.
Wow, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you pick up some Barfly Cologne.
Yeah, didn't you love that sponsor? I've been using Barfly Cologne since 1987.
Weren't you like 2?
No, I was 6, 7, something like that.
You're starting early. You probably had some platforms.
Some platforms. I was wearing my Nikes.
Oh, Jinkos.
It was 87, dude.
Oh, so this.
Jinkos.
Oh, yeah. So you were tight rolling
Umbro
your
shorts
and tight rolling those. You were tight rolling your
tight rolling your Umbro shorts,
making me look shorter, baby. Hey, the 80s were crazy, guys.
They don't get any shorter, buddy.
Oh, they can. In 1955, George H. White, a renowned figure in the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, was recruited by the CIA to take the lead on an expansion of the MK Ultra program that was called Operation Midnight Climax.
Midnight Climax. This is
great.
I know,
I fucking love it. Like just some horny fucking dudes like, yeah, baby.
Operation Midnight Climax. Name of your porn, right?
Yeah. I actually start. Wait, don't look that up. Don't. This insane program started at 225 Chestnut Street in San Francisco, California. Yeah. See, I've been doing fucking research, man.
So that way, when I get my time machine and enough time grease,
you know exactly where to go to have lots of weird tests done on you that you didn't consent to. Fucking win-win, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Georgie Boy decorated all of the rooms in the style of a brothel, or at least he did so as far as what an uptight narcotics agent would think that a brothel would look like. Probably had like unicorns on the fucking walls or something stupid.
I'm picturing, those
Like Sasquatch riding a mermaid,
velvet
bareback.
paintings from like the 60s and 70s.
Right, Velvet
with like,
Elvis. Velvet Elvis, dude.
there's like an Amazon warrior woman like with a big sword and a tiger.
Right, but she's only wearing like a loincloth and two little pieces of cloth. Right,
Yeah.
like, this protect Amazon woman. Dude, I love it. Oh, you know that shit's all fucking made up by men. George then hired a Berkeley engineering student to rig the entire place with listening devices as well as cameras and two-way mirrors. Now, logically, the next step for Georgie Porgy was to hire some prostitutes. Duh, right? Fucking where?
He
What
knew
else
where
do
to find them.
Well, I
imagine.
At this point, he would sit behind a two-way mirror and wait for the action. I mean, research to begin.
I'm picturing him in this room with all these two-way mirrors on every side, so he can just spin around in his chair,
Right,
and
and
look
just-
at all the different action.
He's got to research, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
research.
Anyway, Captain Microwiener would send the ladies out to find some desperate men and bring them back to the house. Once there, the men would be dosed with LSD, heroin, or sodium pentothal. Sometimes they would even like be given like a combination or even a combination of all three of those at the same fucking time.
Could you imagine
Oh, I
all three of those at the same
I
time?
honestly could not, man. Oh, fucking. Ugh. The whole time, George, he's behind these two-way mirrors, just beating the living shit out of his junior staff. He's just fucking saluting to Old Glory over and over, baby. He is getting it, you know? Now, this shit went on for 13 fucking years, expanding to a safe house in Marin County, California, and another one in New York City. After the agency decided that this shit was out of control, White was quoted as saying, get this, man. This is his quote. I toiled wholeheartedly in the vineyards because it was fun, fun, fun. Where else could a red-blooded American boy lie, kill, cheat, steal, rape, and pillage with the sanction and blessing of the All-Highest?
That's a quote. That's not something we're making up.
I
That's
added
a
the laugh,
fucking
but
quote.
that shit was his fucking quote. Dude was a fucking
That's
psychopath.
nuts. I imagine that one day, his higher ups came into his little secret room with a black light and saw all the evidence and was like, we're shutting this program down.
Like the chair stuck to the floor, picture stuck to the wall, like everything's just like there's just like fucking shit just randomly stuck all over the place.
the listening machines, they don't work anymore, like the tape recorders, they're all jammed up.
Right? All the reel to reels are just coded. Like, oh, I think we need to put a stop to this, boys. There was one woman in particular that had a pretty fucking disturbing encounter with Georgie the voyeur. Now, just a heads up, we're going to get into some personal stories, and some of them are kind of fucked up. So, you've been warned.
Yeah, if you don't know a lot about the MK Ultra, like some of these people and some of the things that were done to them, by them,
Right.
it gets pretty fucked up.
Yeah. And again, we've talked about some worse shit, and there's always, I'm sure going forward, there's going to be worse shit, but just, hey, we're doing our best. New year, new me, new body, who dis? Wait, no phone. God damn it. I always get this shit wrong. A singer/waitress named Ruth Kelly was working at the Black Sheep bar when a troll-looking motherfucker came in and started hitting on her. Turns out that our pantyhose pirate was none other than George White himself. Now, fortunately, Ruth had decent taste in men and resisted any and all advances from this pathetic semen-stained salty dog. Yar!
I'm going to give you props for just continuing with that pirate theme there. It's nice, yeah. But I also want to throw back to Black Sheep Bar. That's
Right.
maybe the
Yar, me
third
mateys.
best bar name we've ever talked about on the show.
It's no ugly tuna saluna.
Right.
But, it's definitely not too bad either.
Now I could
But I
have,
mean, come on.
I could have a beer
let's go down to the Black Sheep.
to the Black Sheep.
Get us a pint of lager. Something, I don't know.
Yar.
As the night went on, Ruth was preparing to take the stage, as she did most nights, when the bartender gave her a drink. She had no idea that the drink was bought by Pretzel Dick and that he had dosed it with LSD.
What is how is the pretzel?
Well, come on, dude. He literally spent fucking 13 years beating off behind two-way mirrors. How do you think it looks?
Okay,
It's all naughty and shit, dude. Come on.
It's got little salt crumbles on it.
Well, that's because he eats at the same time.
It's kind of wrinkled like when you go and get one at the carnival and it's been hanging on a thing all day in the sunlight.
Right. Little crispy. Like, oh.
I think we better move on.
It's
from
definitely not
this
something you want to
guy's
put in your
junk.
mouth, or at least
Just like a carnival pretzel. Yeah.
Now Ruth did manage to get through her set, but she was rushed to the hospital immediately afterwards. Now, at first, Limp Dick the Pirate denied having anything to do with this incident, but Ruth's story was corroborated by a prostitute named Liz Evans that had been working with Project One-Eyed Orgasm, or what, isn't that what it was called?
Midnight Climax, One-Eyed Orgasm. That's another pirate reference. There you go. Keep it with the pirate theme. One-Eyed Orgasm.
Liz was quoted as saying that, quote, he drugged a really pretty blonde-haired waitress at the Black Sheep Bar. Her name was Ruth, and George wanted her to take part in things, but she had no interest. Now, this is just another reason that old Georgie should have been forced to walk the maid of Wiener's fucking plank into an ocean of mango until he was dead, instead of having fun.
Yeah, he probably
Fucking sick fucker.
He probably was already walking wiener planks into man-goo oceans.
Right.
Is that a semen
His
sea?
own, though. It is a sea of semen.
It's a jizz water feature. I don't know, fuck, dude. I don't know. I'm gonna move on.
It's
All
like a jizz koozie.
There you go. That's a good one. I gotta keep that.
I try.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on with this one.
Okay, what you got?
All right, so this is
I remember. Yep.
Yeah, this is a story like you don't know why this happened or what the background to this is, but you will recognize the name and this person's deeds.
Ah.
Yeah, so
Well, dirty deeds are done dirt cheap, and they're fun.
well, okay, what's his name? Georgie White?
Georgie the Voyeur?
There you go. All right, so in this story, okay, this started in the fall of 1959 until the spring of 1962. The super ethical CIA decided...
Of course, yeah, everybody knows they're super ethical.
Right. So the CIA decided that the logical next step in this super not fucked up experiment was to start doing tests on unsuspecting students at Harvard University.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
Harvard.
These kids don't have anything going for them.
Oh, yeah, no,
like fucking
these losers?
Right. I mean, yeah, I see why they picked it. Fucking Harvard. Who's ever even heard of Harvard?
Right? I mean, they could have done this at some community college.
Right. Like, this is the college for not so smart people, but we try.
But we try. This is the college of but we try.
I love it.
Excuse me.
I will not.
Okay, so they started testing on students at Harvard. So one of these students was Theodore John Kaczynski,
Oh, shit.
better known as the Unabomber.
Oh, unibrow guy.
Unabomber.
Oh, shit. I read that wrong. Sorry. I'm trying to keep up. I was
Right.
distracted by the fact that we were talking about other things.
When Ted was in the 5th grade, his IQ was reported to be 167, which is almost as high as mine.
Get the... Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. I mean, that's why we do a podcast.
Yeah, I know. We're geniuses over here. Well, I mean, maybe you're a few points shy. But,
Oh, of course.
I mean, you can't beat 170. You know, you can't anyway.
Oh, no. Oh,
So-
is that strokes? No, never mind. Moving on.
All right. So he had in 5th grade, an IQ of 167. That's
fucking insane, dude.
genius.
That is genius. He was a fucking genius, man. Absolutely.
basically, he was a genius.
3 times. Got it, buddy.
Yep. I have to say it over and over because this guy did some pretty heinous things.
I don't remember.
Really?
No,
Okay.
I do.
So Ted would go on to become the youngest assistant professor at the University of California, Berkeley.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a job I wouldn't want.
No, yeah, dude. Fuck
That's a job I couldn't get.
But oh no, Mr. Genius.
So, unfortunately, back in his Harvard days, he was one of several unsuspecting participants in the MK Ultra program.
Wow.
Now, I would never condone anyone choosing to do the things that he would go on to do.
Right.
But I can't help but wonder if all the drugs and the psychological abuse and things that he suffered at the hands of the American government
Right.
may have possibly, had something to do with it or led into him ditching civilization and moving to an isolated cabin in the woods, writing a 35,000-word manifesto, sending it to the New York Times and the Washington Post, and sending bombs through the mail to unsuspecting victims for 17 years.
Is that all he did?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's.
I don't think MK Ultra had anything.
I think it.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked up. Well, and I remember reading through this stuff, and it's like I think he only killed 2 or 3 people, but he injured like so
Right,
dozens, But it is kind of fucking crazy that you have this fucking genius, youngest assistant professor at this college in California, and like this dude is on the fast track. Like his life is set, and just like something clicks, and he's just like, I'm out.
To be honest, I'm sitting here telling this story, but I'm kind of wondering if I could have looked into this manifesto and read it. Is this a public domain knowledge that I can go
Well,
in?
it's not as easy to find as it used to be, but I actually did pull it up, and I mean, it's crazy, man. It's all about he wanted to start a war on the industrialization of the United States. He felt like the machines are going to take over.
You got to think that,
and again, Terminator.
Yeah. Well, you got to think.
We all know that was a fucking documentary.
It was? Shit. But no, seriously, you got to think that the drugs, psychological torment, it had to have some effect.
100% man.
You're a genius, and then you turn around
and your whole life is
completely.
set. Your whole life is fucking set. Like you are on the fast track to having the American dream. Everything is good, and like there's not a fucking problem you can't solve. And then something just clicks and you're like,
snaps.
Peace out. Like, nope, the machines are going to take over. I have to fucking vacate. I got to go.
Yeah.
Like that's insanity, man.
So I would recommend
fucking to you that the program had, it had everything to do.
I would recommend that if you're interested, like look for the manifesto because like I can't go through the manifesto here. We don't have enough time to dive that far into it. But if you're interested, download the PDF because man, like, and it's so crazy because it's like you can like when I was reading through it, it's like certain parts of this thing, it's like, man, this shit makes sense, and then like the rambling starts. And you're like, oh, now I see the paranoia, shit like that. So, well, I mean, that's what LSD does to you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you see me peeking out my windows paranoid. No, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't do LSD.
Drinking that tea again, buddy? Moving on. In the late 1950s through the early 1960s, James Whitey Bulger Jr. was serving a 25-year sentence for armed bank robbery. Part of his sentence was served at the famous Alcatraz Island prison. Just a little fun fact. It has nothing to do with this tale, but I just thought it was kind of crazy that he was in Alcatraz. I don't know.
I mean, it always seems crazy when you hear somebody that was in Alcatraz. I mean, it's like an interesting, just everything about it is kind of.
Yeah, it's just, I think the myth and the legend behind Alcatraz is so much bigger than the actual prison. You know what I'm saying?
The prison is just a little island in the San Francisco Bay.
Exactly.
I mean, but the myth is.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's legendary. Like, yeah. But I mean, again, there's no reason to bring that up. I just thought it was cool. And that again, that's because the legend of the prison is just outrageous. But at some point, he was incarcerated in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, while he was there, Whitey was approached by some quote official looking men. Now he wrote all kinds of diaries and shit, and dude was a fucking monster. Don't get me wrong. Again, just like the Unabomber or Unibrow or whatever the fuck his name was. Anyway, he was approached by these quote official looking men who offered him the opportunity at a reduced sentence if he was willing to participate in a research study aimed at finding a cure for schizophrenia. Surprise! It was all bullshit.
Why, this test to find the cure for schizophrenia is kind of making me schizophrenic.
Well, I'm not sure why I have to get an enema for this, but okay, you're the doctor. Yeah. The real purpose behind these cruel fucking tests was to learn how to control the mind of some of the hardest motherfuckers in the world. And that's why they would go to these prisons,
Hardened
they
criminals.
To find these hardened criminals, these people that were just dead fucking set, like repeat offenders, so on and so forth,
Already,
I thought if we could break
anti-conformists or
exactly, people that protest and doing
society
all exactly.
People.
Basically, like, can we take what they considered the dredges of society and those people standing up for for fucking equal rights, for civil rights, all these things, women's rights,
control their minds.
Apparently, they're the dredges, they're the horrible ones. How dare they try to?
Can we affect their thoughts?
World?
Can we affect
exactly? Can we
change their minds
that?
and yeah?
That's exactly it.
Like erasing a magnetic tape and smacking your new information on there.
Exactly. That's exactly it. They were like, okay, can we rewind, erase, and re-record what we want them to be? And it's fucking ridiculously monstrous, man. Bulger would go on to be responsible for it and ultimately convicted of some pretty horrific crimes, including 19 murders, racketeering, extortion, money laundering, and drug dealing. Now, Bulger wrote in his journals about his experiences, like I said, and one of his entries, I just found it fascinating. And again, we could go through these journals and we could talk all about the different, crimes and everything. But the fact is that before he went to prison in Atlanta, the worst thing he ever did was he robbed a bank. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like,
But then after the
you know,
tests,
I think, you know, during, you know, what, the 20s, 30s, 40s, like that was something that, crazy enough, it happened more often than people fucking think it did.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like fucking what, Dillinger. You know, he was a fucking public hero, and all he did was rob banks. You know, like I don't understand it, but anyway, like so, we're just going to touch on just this one entry that he wrote. He said, "I was hallucinating, hours of paranoia and feeling violent. We experienced horrible periods of living nightmares and even blood coming out of the wall. Guys turning into skeletons in front of me. I saw a camera change into the head of a dog. I felt like I was going insane." And I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what they were doing, was driving him fucking insane.
You mean this isn't normal for all people?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. Just
how's,
kidding.
How's therapy going?
It's not. I already told you. My
I thought
therapist
maybe you fucking made up.
found
or
a new.
something.
No,
Oh, they
He
replace you.
never mind.
No,
He didn't want to make up.
Bulger did ask to be let out of the program, but he was denied, and they told him that the reason he was denied was because they were close to a cure.
Close
And
to
then-
a cure.
Yep, and then they eventually they did reduce his sentence. I'll
They
give them
said
that.
they said no. We're within 5 feet of Robert Smith.
Ask your parents. That was great, buddy. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, basically, you know, when they did let him out, that's when all of the really bad shit started to happen. You know, like he was even like one of the murders, he bashed he's accused and convicted of bashing a man's head in with a baseball bat until it was literally
Mush.
undiscernible. Like there wasn't even a head left. Yeah. I mean, it was just ridiculous. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. That and it strikes me that
You,
like
you go from
his-
robbing banks because you just want the money. You want the money and the security and all that, to literally beating someone's head so much with a baseball
that
bat
his
there's
crimes
just nothing.
ramped up after the
Exactly.
test.
And
That's
the violence.
yeah.
The violence in his crimes
That's nuts.
exploded. He was still after the money, but the violence just fucking off the charts after that.
Right, yeah. So okay, then let's move on from
Okay.
Whitey Bulger to Ken Casey.
Who
Yeah, so
was it? Top 40.
no, that's Casey.
Oinks,
Kasem.
oinks.
Casey.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know. Was he part of MK Ultra too?
He might have ended. He
Yeah,
did.
you
do the
never
voice of
know.
Shaggy for years.
Right. Okay, so Ken Casey was an author.
Okay.
Probably most renowned for writing the book One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Oh,
Nest.
by the way, my personal opinion, buddy, when that was made into a movie, it fucking absolutely was the role that made Jack Nicholson a fucking star. I just had to
Great.
throw
Yeah,
that in there.
yeah.
Great
I'm
movie.
gonna say it's a great movie, but it has been so long since I watched it.
Yeah. You know, it's probably been a year.
It's
maybe
been probably
year.
a decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great movie. Though. I
Yeah,
feel like
it
it
is.
still holds up. Besides the fact that they were all allowed to smoke inside buildings.
Right. Well, we talked about that once too, just back in the day when you could smoke wherever you want to go.
Right.
Anyway, during 1960, Ken was a student at Stanford University.
Mhm.
I mean, another prestigious school. These
Yeah.
people
Again,
are-
it's not like the.
it's not
"But
like
we
he's-
try university.
yeah, he's not going to community college.
I may not be smart, but I'm funny. University.
So while at Stanford University, he volunteered to take part in a military experiment that involved mind-altering substances.
Okay.
There were 2 graduate students.
Okay,
of
so
the
this wasn't
psychology-
like you know these doctors are coming to. It was a military experiment. I gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what the research said.
Okay.
So, 2 graduate students of the psychology department named Perry Lane and Vic Lovell. Lovell? Is that so? Lovell?
Or I mean Lowell.
Lovell?
I mean, if there was an SH instead of an L, would you say shovel?
Shovel?
I'm gonna dig that hole with my shovel.
Yes. My shovel. So I grabbed my shovel.
And made love to my wife.
Okay, so these 2 invited Ken to participate in a government project called MK Ultra.
So he knew exactly what he was getting into.
Yeah, they told him this is the project MK Ultra. So I guess honestly, it's okay to dupe the prisoners.
Right.
But when it comes to
'cause-
these
'cause
educated
they're
people
not
say-
real human beings, basically.
Right. So you could come to these people in universities and goes, here's the government project. We need participants.
We want to give you lots of really fun drugs that are highly addictive,
And pay you to do them.
and we'll pay you. We won't pay for your rehab afterward. That's socialism. Fucking commie. Get out of here.
What are you? Yeah.
Fucking Rusky. Anyway, moving on.
All right. According to Casey, not only did they dose him with LSD, they also dosed him with mescaline,
Damn.
AMT,
What's
or
that stand for?
and this is where it gets fun because you know how I hate pronouncing words.
Oh, but no. That's usually my forte. But God, I've been waiting for this, guys. Come on.
All right.
Hold
AMT.
on. Join me, fellow weirdos. We're building a good laugh here.
All right. AMT is alpha methyltryptamine.
Oh man, you got it.
Cool, awesome. So
No,
that's a
wrong. I was
long.
completely fucking wrong. No,
I
I'm
think
just
it's
kidding.
right.
You got it.
It's a long-acting psychedelic drug.
Okay.
DMT,
Okay.
which is dimethyltryptamine.
and what is that?
I don't know. It's another psychedelic drug. Not familiar with DMT.
DMT it's basically it's another long lasting psychedelic.
I know I've heard DMT
It's
used
the one
before.
that they
but
talk about, like that's where people have like spiritual experiences, and they connect with the universe, and fucking third eye buttholes open and stuff. I don't know.
That's not your third eye.
It's not.
No.
Oh, that's your brown
eye.
God. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. So another drug that they would dose them with is psilocybin.
Oh, magic mushrooms.
Hold on a minute. So LSD, mescaline, AMT, DMT, psilocybin. Write this down. It's another recipe for tea, man.
You're gonna have some tea.
Yeah,
Hell
write this shit
brother.
down.
I already did.
Oh,
I
cool.
got you
cool,
right
cool.
Oh, look, man. Right here.
Oh, nice. Save that for me. Post
Will
it up
do.
on the board.
Will do, buddy. I got you.
All right. So they would dose them with all these things and any other known mind-altering substances.
No shit.
Yeah, anything they could think of.
Wow.
Now, Ken Casey's handle on things, let me see here. What am I trying to say here? Ken Casey
I
handled
don't
things
know.
quite a bit differently than most. So, in other words, differently than these people that
Right, like-
snapped off and did some
Well,
crazy.
basically,
violent
it's
shit.
almost like he knew what he was getting.
Right. Yeah,
Therefore,
I think as a ingenious author who probably already had some experience with some mind altering substances.
yeah, like homie was definitely rocking the ganj.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right. So he handled it differently than most. He actually chose to embrace the culture and help to start the movement along with Timothy Leary. Timothy Leary of Tune In, Turn On, and Drop Out.
Right. Yeah, he helped start that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so funny thing about the whole movement is that people were and are so close-minded that they thought they wanted kids to drop out of school.
Right.
But in reality, what they wanted, they were trying to encourage everyone to drop out of the government's organized society and create a better way of life.
Right.
More.
And again, I can't say that it's not worth a shot.
Yeah. Just back up. All you got to do is take care of each other, be good to each other. Sorry.
Is that all?
I'm on.
You can't even get people to fucking take their shopping carts back to the corrals.
Right.
Come on.
But if everybody could just stop being a dick.
Oh, I know.
That's my new phrase. I'm going to have a t-shirt made. It's going to just say, stop being a dick.
So just send us an email and we can get you a shirt.
Yeah, we'll send you a stop being a dick shirt.
Now, obviously, like this is all subject to perspective, but personally, I think that it couldn't have hurt,
Yeah.
In my opinion, like one of the most awesome figures that we haven't talked about yet that was tied to the program was fucking Robert Hunter. You know who he is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Hunter, Grateful Dead.
Robert was one of the leading lyricists for the Grateful Dead, which I fucking love the Grateful Dead, guys. Robert
You also like fish?
no.
I thought I was the one that drank the mushroom tea.
Well, I do like rocking the ganj, but no, wait, that's you. Get out of here.
Oh, okay. You can finish the episode on your own. Thanks,
Oh
bye.
no, dude, I'm gonna bring it. The power of Christ compels you. The power. Thank you, Reverend. Thank you. Get that evil out of here. Robert was quoted as saying in 2013, "quote I couldn't figure out why they were paying me to take these psychedelics. What they wanted to do was to check if I was more hypnotizable when I was on them. It was hard to pay attention to what the hell they were talking about, much less be hypnotized. It was the first time I had had any of this stuff, and the drugs in themselves were rather spectacular. Nobody had
They
my
were
experiences."
rather spectacular.
That's what he said. He said they were rather. Well, you see, Chuck, they
Here's
were
how-
rather spectacular.
Here's
buddy.
how I picture it. Okay, so it was hard to pay attention to what the hell they were talking about, much less be hypnotized. I mean, I've never been able to be hypnotized when on LSD, man.
Right. Like, man, yeah, it was the first time I had any of this stuff, man.
Nobody had had
And
this shit.
And the drugs in themselves, they were rather spectacular. You know what I'm saying? Nobody had my experiences, and it was at least 2 years before those drugs started getting out on the street,
I'm the
man.
first American hippie to.
Right, man. It was like a secret club of one. Like that, he's quoted as saying it was like a secret club of one. That's fucking awesome. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, if there's just one of these stories that I believe 100%, it's fucking lootly this one. Like, I love the idea that the government was like, we need to dose these fucking hippies and learn how to control them.
And
then
this
Bob
guy-
was like, fuck yeah, bro, bring it on.
This guy and Ken Casey, they're like, well, we're going to start a movement. Timothy Leary's over here. We got a bunch of shit going on. We're going to change the world.
Fucking right, dude. Oh, and I love it, dude. It makes me happy.
Yeah, this
You know
is a
what I'm
good
saying?
one. I'm glad we kind of like went away from the violence.
I could just see
To
it
some of
though,
these
like
guys.
they come up to him. Well, listen here, Mr. Hunter. We really want to give you. We got to test your limits of your mind. So we're going to give you some mind altering stuff, and we're going to see how far we can take it. And he's like, "Fuck yeah, bro, bring it on. Let's do this."
Fuck yeah, bro. I did read somewhere
Fuck
that
yeah, bro, bring it on, Shaka.
I did read somewhere that the American government, it was something like $250,000 to buy the entire world supply of LSD.
Supposedly, yeah, that's exactly what
It's
it said. In the
nuts.
research.
Like
But now-
nowadays,
I know, dude. 250 grand. Like you're like, yeah, I might be able to get everybody. to
nowadays they
party
do like a
fucking dose.
250 grand bust,
Right.
on the highway. Oh, this tractor trailer was carrying $250,000 worth of LSD.
What are you talking about, dude? They do a fucking $250,000 bust, and it's like a fucking little like
It's like a-
Lego box. It's tiny
Yeah.
little bit.
You see them all posted on social media all the time. Our police force
Right.
made a huge bust, and it's like a stack of cash and a little bag of weed.
Right. This 17-year-old Kevin, he's got a fucking eighth bag.
Right.
Can I call my mom? The fact that our government would use our own tax dollars to manipulate us, or even worse, control us, is such a fucking reality that it makes me want to fucking cry, guys.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Now, the fact that there are always people that will speak out and do everything that they can to stop them gives me the tiniest sliver of hope for humanity. Now, I definitely did my share of tuning out in my younger years, Chuck.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
You don't?
Oh, I do. I'm sorry.
Listen
guys.
to my voice. Listen to my voice, man. I am
Oh,
about
now you're trying to fucking hypnotize me.
I'm about 40 years old, and every time I hear one of our podcasts, I think there's that 19-year-old stoner.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, fortunately for us, it was always under our own volition that we did these things.
Yeah.
In today's society, it seems like it's getting harder and harder to try to keep these evil fucking pricks from looking directly inside our fucking brains,
They see inside my soul.
That's your therapist, bud.
I don't have a therapist.
Well, that's your ex-therapist. How about that? All right, fuck. Now, whether it's true or not, that's completely up to you guys. You guys can do your own research, look into this. I mean, dig deep. There's the thing about the unexplained is it's only unexplained until we fucking figure it out. So keep being strange. Now, as for me, I've already turned off all of my devices. I have zero electronics on. Besides recording a podcast.
Oh, you have zero. I have zero electronics on. We have computers here so we can read our
Monitors
notes
and microphones,
and mixing board,
mixing board, amps. Yeah, but hey, but I have put some money down on a plot of land in an undisclosed location.
Is that undisclosed location?
225 Chestnut Street, San Francisco, California.
Wow, you remember the address?
No, it's not. Or is it? Remember, an open mind leads to endless possibilities. Join us next time for another piece of weird candy.